Howdy doody everybody, I hope you're doing great. In today's video we're talking about Ghost of Tsushima and the new content that has dropped for that. So Sucker Punch recently released the director's cut, which comes with an island expansion called IKI Island, so that is a chance for me to jump in and have some more fun with the game that I loved in 2020. So base Ghost of Tsushima was my game for that year. I absolutely loved it, and I know a bunch of you guys on the channel love it, so we're going to go through and give my impressions on that. And I was able to give you my impressions because Sony sent me a code, so thanks to them. But the way that I like to do these videos in general is just have an open discussion with you guys. You guys can tell me what you think about the original Ghost of Tsushima and this DLC, if you've actually played it and had a chance, and if you're going to be picking it up or thinking about picking it up in general. If you like that, then leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you can catch these discussions and become part of the community, and we can play all these games and enjoy them together, right? So let's set some context for what comes in the director's cut and this DLC. I'm going to mainly focus on IKI Island because that is the super interesting stuff. But Ghost has obviously got a brand new upgrade for PS5. So this is out on PS5 and it's got that spicy upgrade, so you can get that at 4K and at 60 FPS, and it is running smooth. The game looks even better than it did before. So that's what the director's cut brings with it, with that patch and all of the PS5 patches that comes with that. But we're interested in the IKI Island, and IKI Island is a place that you can unlock or access once you get to the second chapter in the game if you've progressed through the main campaign, and then you fight another faction of the Mongols, and you go to this brilliant new island that looks beautiful, absolutely beautiful, in the bottom right hand of the map. And you'll get some additional content to play through along with like some missions, and the whole objective of it, without any spoilers or anything like that, because I don't want to spoil it for you guys if you're going to be playing through, is that you're going to IKI Island where Jin has a bunch of history with, like, there's some stuff that's happened in his past, mainly revolving around his father, and it's kind of an emotional story. There's little things and little story beats that hit kind of different, and if you played the main game you know that it kind of gets to some crazy points as well in terms of the story. So if you want to delve in and learn a bit more about Jin's past and some of the interactions and some of like the more nuanced stuff, this is a great DLC for you to jump in and learn more about how that stuff unfolded and what made Jin basically, and some of the supporting cast that you meet along the journey. Super fun, so definitely jump in if that's what you're looking for. In terms of length, if you're going to be playing through the campaign, I just rushed through the story missions because from the main game I figured that you can complete all the side stuff after you completed the campaign. And this is the same, you can go back and do all of like the side additional content after you completed the campaign or the story missions for the IKI Island stuff. So with that in mind, I just rushed through and I was able to complete it in about 2 to 3 hours. I did get kind of caught up in some of like the side missions, because there's one side mission that is like basically duels, and I absolutely love dueling in this game, so I went and I did that, and that got me caught up trying to learn the mechanics of that basically. But in general, about 2 to 3 hours. But if you're doing all the collectibles, that's going to add a load more time on it. I'm not necessarily a collectible person. I'm more about getting those dies and stuff like that. So some of the time, if there is a collectible that leads to that, I'll do that. But there are a load of different collectibles, kind of the similar ones that you had, like the lighthouses and the dens and all of those crazy stuff that you can go for in the open world. But one of the things that you just would want to appreciate is just the world anyway. The art and the environment just looks beautiful. So exploring is going to become part and parcel of this game in general. You'll be happy to know, if you played the main game, those Japanese tales are back as well, and there are 2 bangers in here that give you some really good stuff. One of them leads to the only armor, I think, that's in the actual DLC, and the DLC armor is pretty fun to use. I won't tell you exactly what it does, but if you want to find out what it does, you can go to the main Arix Gaming channel and find out exactly that. But yeah, there is additional content that you actually get as well. And one of the really cool things is they've added a bunch of mechanics to do with the horse. So my horse is named Nobu, and a bunch of mechanics have been added around that, so you get some really cool stuff to interact with, and some new combat moves and some new stuff to unlock and whatever with the horse as well. That really makes it kind of shine in combat, which you didn't used to really, unless you're riding on horseback, which is really cool. Let's talk about just the graphics just to round it out, because I feel like Ghost of Tsushima and graphics and the photo mode come hand in hand. The photo mode blew up when the original game kind of released, And yeah, the photo mode is just brilliant on this island. It looks absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, in terms of graphics and fidelity, game looks great. So I personally really enjoyed it. I don't know if it's necessarily one that I could recommend for you guys to rush out and get or anything like that. There was a bit of like jank in the cutscenes in terms of like the polish. I can't remember if that was just Ghost of Tsushima or because the DLC budget's a little bit lower or something like that, that there was a little bit more jank. But yes, other than that, it was an enjoyable experience. I would say it's around the 7.5 area. I wouldn't necessarily give it numbers, but if I was to give it a number, I'll say it's about the 7.5 area for it. But it's still a good DLC for you guys to go out and grab. And if you haven't played the main Ghost game, which is an excellent game, then definitely grab that and try it out, because if you liked Assassin's Creed back in the day, like how it was, then you'll definitely enjoy Ghost of Tsushima with what it is now, because it's basically that, but with samurais and just having fun and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely try it out if you haven't. One thing I would like to say as well, if you are delving in and you haven't played it and you're jumping straight into IKI Island, it is going to be rough getting back into it, because the combat system takes a bit of time to get used to it, but once you're back into the combat system, it's absolutely banging. So definitely take your time and get used to it. Don't get too frustrated if you get absolutely destroyed by some of the enemies, because they've added some new ones in that switch mechanics and switch weapons and do a madness, and one of them that like busts up all of them, so they do relentless attacks, so you will get like destroyed if you're not too careful. In addition with this as well, there is all the legend stuff that's come in with like legends modes, but I haven't necessarily jumped into the legend stuff yet. I'm going to leave that until later when the boys have completed the DLC and stuff like that, so we'll jump into that. And I always love playing multiplayer in this game. I keep on forgetting that how good the multiplayer was in this anyway. Anyway guys, that was it. That was my initial impressions of, well, my impressions of Ghost of Tsushima, the IKI Island expansion or DLC, along with the director's cut. Hopefully you guys give it a go if you haven't already, but thank you for making it to the end of the video. You guys have been absolutely brilliant. Anyway guys, bye bye. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget you can subscribe so you don't miss another video.